it's time for your brand to go to the next level, but it's really time for you to step up in a different level, in a different way, I would say. And now is a day, now is a time for you to do something drastically different than you have done before. They often say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting something different to happen. So if within your brand, within your business, you're trying to build something massive, you want to have an amazing day, you got to do something different than you did these previous days, right? The way that you're doing your business right now, if you start to brand yourself more personally and step out of this realm of like, my product, my service is so fantastic, everybody's gonna buy it. But like, give us a reason to check out your product or service. Like, start doing more reels, start to do more live videos, start to post in your stories, start to engage with your audience a little bit more, and I guarantee you'll start seeing some different results. But today's conversation is really about your thinking, because I want you to start thinking like a successful person, like this person has a successful business already, instead of for you waiting for something magical to happen on the outside. When you get that mindset shifted right from the beginning, and really if you can start your day off the right way, it's even better. So I no longer want you guys thinking like in this old way. So like transition, I teach my clients this exercise of you like imagining yourself as a 2025 version. Like, how does this person think? How do they behave? Like, where do they go? What kind of friendships do they have? Because as you start to prepare your mind for really what you want to have later, then you automatically start to walk into that wealthy place way before it was really your time. One of the biggest things that I've seen within my own life and my business is that for a very long time, I was trying to force it. I really thought that forcing it was the answer. I felt like if I contacted enough people that eventually I was going to get some sales. If I made enough posts that I was going to eventually get some sales. But what I really had to find out that it was more so about my thinking about myself and within my business. So this particular conversation is really geared towards helping you shift that mindset to a different place within your business. So every successful person that I've ever studied, they had one thing in common. They actually thought that they were successful before they became successful. And it's the same thing that you literally have to do within your business, within your life. Like, you got to start thinking like the successful person way before you get there. And I know that you want the money to come right now, but in many instances, you keeping the money away from yourself simply because you're not thinking like that successful person that receives that stuff. Here's a really great principle that I'll share with you. I probably have mentioned this before several times to y'all, but it's called be, do, have. Be, do, have. And it basically says that you can't have what successful people have if you're not doing what successful people do. And the reason that oftentimes you're not doing what successful people do is simply because you're not that person inside your mind. Your belief system about yourself is maybe you have lack, maybe you are struggling, maybe you don't have enough, maybe you just aren't good, maybe you just feel like you suck. You got to shift that thinking now to this place of, I'm good. Like, I got this. My business is going to be successful. I am a millionaire. Manny, like, why you want me lying to myself? I don't want you lying to yourself. I just want you to see a different reality. That's all. I just want you to see a different reality. Like, this time and space that we live in every single day, we're not even really tapping into infinite possibilities because we only staying focused on what we can see and hear and touch and taste. But like, what if you start thinking way beyond that? Come on, y'all. Like, what if you start thinking way beyond that? There are some possibilities that exist for your business to grow, for your life to be changed, for you to get more money, a better job, whatever you want. But you got to stay focused on that reality and not this current one that you live in every day. Because look, the majority of the times we don't even like what we currently have or the situation that we're currently in, but we keep exhibiting behaviors that are identical to that type of life. Hope y'all caught that. So like, let's just change the way that we live and let's change our behaviors. Let's change the way that we do our business. If you know that you're that person that really leans more into being an introvert than an extrovert, then you gotta almost like do this thing that I did, because I'm an introvert myself, and most of the time I just might not feel like being bothered with a whole lot of people for a very long period of time. So what I do is, like, I come out of my shell for a certain period of time, and then I can go back to chill and being by myself and being my introvert self. But I know that I have to come out of that. So there's like this like superhero that comes out when he needs to. And then when he's not needed, it's almost like a Clark Kent and Superman type of thing. Like Bruce Wayne and Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come alive when I need to for those particular times, and then I can go back into my shell. But if you're an extrovert, you need to be able to say much more, because you naturally feed off of other people's energy. So go out there and be building some relationships. Go out there and be talking to people on a consistent basis, because this is really what you like to do anyway. But introverts, you find your time, you find your reasons, you be very, very strategic with your energy, because most of us as introverts, like, we get our energy from like being alone, like spending that time in prayer, meditation, like. But again, the extroverts are really feeding off of other people's energy, being around in larger circles and stuff like that. More than anything else, y'all, like, if we can start to shift the way that we think about our business, I guarantee we'll be much more successful. And me as a brand development coach, here's really what I do for a living, is I talk to business owners that are growing and they having this desire to be massively successful, but there's some things within their business that they might not be paying attention to. Some of those are emails. They're not sending out any emails. So they're having no way to really talk and communicate with their audience on a consistent basis other than social media. And social media you can't depend on, right? Because the algorithms, the way that they're designed, is not against you, but you have to understand that the algorithms are only going to support the behavior that you're putting out. So if you have been inconsistent with your posts, then naturally nobody's going to be seeing your posts. If you've been that person that's just been like, every now and then you'll put out some content, and when you do, it's just normally something that you're selling, then guess what? The algorithm is not going to be in your favor, because they're not going to show that type of content to the people that are following you, primarily because they don't like that type of content. They really want to be social with you. They want to have a post that is going to allow them to engage and interact with you in a meaningful way, because this is what we're here for on social media, is to be social. It's not to really turn Instagram and Facebook into like this flea market where every time we look up, somebody's selling something. It needs to go back to this place of like us building solid relationships with each other. This is what social media is all about. So if you can have your page designed that way, and you are making content that is meaningful, is relevant, and is speaking to the audience that you know that you're supposed to be serving. Look, again, me as a brand development coach, I'm helping you develop your brand. So look, sometimes it's going to be some hard conversations like this to say, look, there are some areas within your business that you need to improve. There are some things within maybe even your personal life that's impacting the business. So although in one breath you say you want to be successful, but your actions are literally going against what it is that you say that you want. So this is why I really want to bring everything together and allow your business, your brand to be very cohesive, because when it is, then people like you more. And when they like you more, they trust you more. And when they trust you more, they know you more. And they'll start buying from you more. But right now, if you're in that situation, that season where nobody's buying, nobody's biting on anything that you have to offer, it might just be a situation they just don't know anything about you. And you could say to yourself, well, Manny, how do they not know anything about me? I'm making posts on social media every single day. I'm doing the reels. I'm doing exactly what they said to do. But you're not really penetrating the hearts and minds of the people that you're supposed to be serving. Because again, from an algorithm standpoint, only a few people are actually seeing your content when you actually make a post. And do not believe that you have hundreds of people that are waiting every single day for you to make a post, so they just go into your page manually. No, they're primarily looking at what's on their Explore page, what's on their homepage. And if you're that person that's not putting out a whole lot of content, that's one factor why you're not getting a whole lot of attention. But then the other reason is depending solely on social media to get you more exposure. I would highly suggest in this season that you start an email list. Start an email list. This is going to allow you to bring in more sales. It's going to allow more people to be engaged with your content. And these individuals that are already following you, already rocking with you, when they join your list, then you can talk to them more. You don't have to worry about the algorithms like kind of blocking your content from them being able to see it. Another thing that I would highly suggest is to become an industry expert in your field. To grow a personal brand, you're not going to be able to hide behind the computer, hide behind your phone. You're also going to have to get out there in the community in person. Yep, COVID is over. Come on, y'all. That season is over, so we cannot use that as an excuse that you can't be around people no more. People are back to shaking hands. People are back to hugging people. People are back to being in each other's spaces. So this is the same thing that you need to start doing within your personal brand in order to get more exposure. I would highly suggest becoming an industry leader. If you don't have a book already, really think about writing a book. Really think about writing a book. And if you're that person that feels like you're not good at writing, then maybe you hire a ghostwriter. Maybe you hire a team, because my company and I, WMYL, we have a publishing company. We can help you with that. But more than anything else, it's like you got to become an industry leader. Yes, you're at this level right now. And look, I'm proud of you. Whoever you are out there that's listening, whether you're watching the live video or the recording, I'm proud of you for making it this far. But now it's time to go a little bit further. A book is not just for authors that want to be a best-selling author and want to have all these amazing opportunities come out of it. A book is also for any entrepreneur that is trying to put themselves out there more. Because with this book, now more people are paying attention to you. Now you become more of an industry leader in your particular field, simply because you got a piece of material out there that exists that people can buy on Amazon or from your website. Another thing that I would highly suggest is for you to start a podcast. Manny, I don't want to start a podcast. It's going to be too much work. I ain't trying to get no advertiser. Listen, I feel you. Doing the podcast, again, is simply another avenue, just like you writing a book, for you to get more exposure. In this season, I highly suggest that you become an industry leader, because if you don't, you're going to literally go right into the same realm that everybody else is in, and they're going to put you in that same box. Like, you're just another person that does this. You're just another person that does that. It's time for them to look at you differently within your brand. And a large part of this is you being very, very strategic within your business and developing in these areas that you know you need to develop. Your back office needs to be on point. You need to have a CRM system to keep tracks of all your customers, your clients, their names, their addresses, their birth dates, their email addresses, phone numbers. Like, you need a place to be able to house all of that. Now, if you're doing it in Excel, okay, cool. But let that not be the only place that you have all these contacts. Like, you need a more robust system that can also help you to email some of these clients and make that user experience way easier. I'm giving you a whole lot of game, and I hope that y'all are taking notes, because these are the things that I tell my clients for them to produce millions of dollars within their brands, millions of dollars within their company, simply because when you become an industry leader, now naturally more people are paying attention to you. If you're not an industry leader, and let me just pause and say this. If I go to Google and I try to search your name and there's nothing there about you, I just see your social media pages, but I don't see any relevant articles, like any blogs, any websites. I don't see that you have been on any podcasts. There's no YouTube videos. Then it's kind of hard for me to be engulfed into your particular system or what it is that you're doing and how you could potentially help me. You got to get more prolific, y'all. We got to put ourselves out there in a meaningful way. Building a personal brand is not really easy, but building a personal brand is not really that hard either. You got to just put in the work. I love y'all. Talk to you soon. Peace.